This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I am talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope that you are too. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Fagan. My episode today is very different. I have a new friend. Her name is Veronica Life. She is wonderful, and she is kind, and she has such a big heart. And she is the leader of the group Purple It Up for domestic violence domestic violence awareness. And I am just so inspired by everything that she says and does. I have not experienced domestic violence in my life, but from what I've been hearing from her, I am a small number. I am a minority in that. And I just want to say I am a safe person. If you have experienced or are experiencing or are afraid of somebody, please, you can tell me, you can tell Veronica, but tell somebody and get some help, because there is, life is better. Life can be better. And Veronica will tell you herself of her personal story, and I'm going to let her go into this more, but I'm just letting Veronica talk on this episode. It's all about Veronica and Purple It Up and silencing the stigma on domestic violence. So if feel free, if this is really not your cup of tea, to not listen, but I hope that you will listen, because I had not thought about this really much before, but I've been listening to Veronica. So I met Veronica through Podfest. She did a talk at Podfest, which is a podcast convention it was in January. Oh, I heard her in April, the end of April, and I was so moved by what she was saying. And like I said, I had not really thought about this before, and not a lot anyway. And I couldn't stop thinking about it, how unnecessary it is, and how the shame that's associated, and it's unnecessary for people to feel alone and shameful and stuck, because there are people to help. And now that I am aware of that, I am on the game. So I am a supporter, and I just want to let you know that that I am there. So Veronica has been showing up every single Friday since that Podfest moment with Numospect Media, which is the group that I have been with for almost a year now. I met them at Podfest in May of 2022, and they are like family to me, and they embraced Veronica wholeheartedly. And every single Friday on their live show at 1:30 Eastern time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, uh, Veronica comes on, and they talk about domestic violence. They just want to make it more common and more comfortable and, less taboo, because it is happening so much. And the more we talk about it, the more comfortable people will be talking about it. The more comfortable people will be, hopefully, to ask for help and to know that there are options. So I am on board. Numospect is has been wonderful to do this every single week, and Veronica has been wonderful to do this every single week. I'm so grateful that Veronica came on to do this talk for you guys and for me. I can't hear it enough, because I feel so empowered by listening to Veronica. So I'm going to let her do her thing. I just wanted to give a little bit of an intro. Veronica's in Florida, but she is everywhere. She is available, and she will give her contact info, and I will have it in the show notes. And thank you so much for listening today. I hope that you get something out of this. Please feel free to support Purple It Up for domestic violence awareness. Please feel free to let people know that you are a safe person for them to talk to. And please just try to, talk about it more, so that people feel comfortable talking about it. And it will not be a shameful thing. It will be something that people will feel empowered by, and will feel power and feel, Veronica's messages of joy, to come from a place of fear and shame and to come away with joy. So not just like coming away flush, but coming away so much better. And that is what inspires me. It's not just I'm going to come away better. I'm going to come away with joy. So that is her message. I will let her tell you herself in her own voice, and I hope that you enjoy this. If you do enjoy this, please feel free to share this with anybody. Here is Veronica. I hope you have a good day. Today, my guest is Veronica Life. Veronica is the head of Purple It Up for domestic violence awareness. Veronica, thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. And thank you so much for thinking about us and what we're doing here and making a difference in people's lives. Um, I it's been a long day, but the exciting thing is it's well worth being tired and loving the impact that we have in every day to be that difference that people need to see, and simply purple it up.
Wow. And we're wearing matching shirts today.
Yes.
We've got our merch. Yay.
Our purple up gear. Yes.
I love matching. That's really fun. So can you tell us about Purple It Up? What is Purple It Up?
Well, Purple It Up, it's for domestic violence awareness, and simply to say that the more awareness is out there, the more we can get to the root at prevention, not at crisis, and going through the root. And Purple Up, we're the hands and feet that's out there in the community, the boots on the ground, voluntarily advocating back to victims of domestic violence, helping victims understand that they have help, to understand that there is hope, and that they can do it, that they can stand up, speak up, most importantly, speak up and have the support. And when you do that, that's half the battle. You won because you spoke up. Out of the fear, shame, that's not what we want to have attention to. We want to have attention that you matter, your voice matters, and we're simply the ones there along the way. It started with after someone's come into crisis, but we are the organization that's doing before, during, and after, and usually up to 10 years of victims' lives, but actually it's a lifetime. It's a journey that helps people to understand that this is something you're going through, but there's more to live for. You deserve to be loved. And we empower that. And sometimes we're talking daily, every other day, weekly, but several times, uh, quite a bit throughout the month. When somebody first come into advocacy and get to a point that they're surviving, thriving, and then we teach them to pay it forward to somebody else to help us help others. And people have the opportunity to join in on the challenge as well as people in the community to get people to get involved, be aware of domestic violence, what it is and what it's not. And a neat way we do that is making awareness impact, doing something to change what it looks like when it comes to October, which is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, along with breast cancer. So we need to see pink and purple. So we're on a fun mission, simply doing our Don't Drop the Ball challenge. And that's simply saying, I purple up for domestic violence awareness, and I'm not going to drop the ball. And we encourage people, that's a simple act of kindness, being aware, creating more awareness in your community. And anyone can take on the challenge. And it's very important because the more awareness happens, the more we're going to get to prevention instead of just dealing with the problem. And still, instead of just dealing with the responses, why don't you just leave?
Mm.
That's not so easy when you don't know the help, the empowerment that's out there. So if we're out there in the community, in any community, and now globally, talking about increasing domestic violence awareness, simply purple it up for domestic violence awareness and take on the challenge, we're going to have those conversations, encourage people to feel honored, to be empowered, to get it, that you can do something. You can help yourself voice. You can help someone voice by just standing up and taking on the challenge and activating that and letting people know that you have a resource, you have options, and contact Purple Up to get Purple Up involved. And because of the way of internet, Zoom is a wonderful feature. Because of the internet, we're doing more globally, and because of Podfest, putting this out there in a global community, we're getting responses and resourcefully dealing with global issues on the matter. And that's what awareness, the power of awareness, do. So I thank you, Amy, for inviting us to share and talk today how to purple up for domestic violence awareness, what it means to be sustainable, what it means to have this ongoing and this light not to go out. And with everything being done, there's even more hope in strengthening those efforts. It's very impactful to the community. And with advocacy, we provide housing, we provide the food, the lights, the gas, the locations where people need to go to get somewhere in shelter, certified shelters, safe. And now we're on a mission to increase support because we're voluntarily doing this, but there's always a need for funding, even if one is fully funded. There's a need. So increasing awareness increases the support and an ongoing effect to make a difference for a lifetime. And that's the level we're elevating to now. And we're not for profit, and we're the boots on the ground that do need to have things fully funded, and showing victims that what the steps look like even after you survive, even 10 years later, what is the outcome, and how impactful to see someone going on with their life and then coming back around to say, hey, I can help now. I want to do more because I know what it was like. It was me. And for me, that was me, 2008, 2010, going through the survivorship of domestic violence. And along the way, as I was an advocate before, during and after, I just didn't let that be the reason to stop what my purpose is and to break me down that bad where I lost my hope or lost my confidence. I caught myself, this is what actually it looks like. And people need to know that what domestic violence is. It's not just the 1-2 punch. If you get to that level, that means somebody's in imminent danger and that person wants to kill you. That person wants you no longer good for somebody else, or always have that physical reminder that, you know, I did that to him or her. And by the way, it is him or her. It's not just a female thing. It's an intimate partner thing. So that can be any sex or non-sex, or however people, wherever you believe, you know, a victim is a victim in all, not status, not who you are, not who you know, needs to be supported. Because the truth is, I didn't look like I was a victim. I didn't act like I was a victim. I don't want nobody to know. I didn't really catch it that I was being victimized until we got through the stages and layers. The worst thing was the non-visible stuff. And we're talking about the mental health side of things, the psychological abuse, the social abuse, the financial abuse. That was a big one for me, because had I would have had financial support, things would be even more supported and different now. And it's common where anytime someone takes advantage of you and they stole something, remember the 7 times the 7. That's what they're going to owe you in some way or somehow. That's the result of that. But I would tell you, domestic violence has different stages. And like the unseen stuff, that's why we want to increase awareness to get to the sustainability of the survivorship and the outcome, to make an impact where there's a tolerance, there's no tolerance. Instead of now, there's a tolerance. Oh, well, that person can get help. Don't tolerate that. Don't ever think that. That person is most likely they're not going through domestic violence. Oh, that's not what it is, or they'll get help. Don't assume, act. So if you see something, yes, say something, but you get in your gut, do something. Even if it's you speaking up for a victim or calling the police and making the report. You're the witness, you're aware. And that point is very heroic, to stand up. And it's okay. Officers don't mind if something, over nosy neighbor or whatever, people snitch, whatever. It don't matter in this case when we're dealing with domestic violence. We rather see it and break it down from a prevention standpoint than the problem. Because when we're called for the problem, something is really going on physical, and we're dealing with end of life issues or crisis, trauma. So increasing awareness, that's what we're about, because awareness is everything. And prevention is the key to breaking the silence on domestic violence. And we're looking at various ways. With COVID happening, that increased 1,000%, 20 more thousand calls a day has happened. But one thing out of COVID, we see how awareness goes with COVID. Everybody know the mask. You didn't have to ask people twice. Somebody go to cough. Can I get a mask? They didn't want a mask. They didn't believe. But let somebody cough. Oh, it took them 1 second to get that mask. And that's the reaction we want to have, because every 29 seconds, there is somebody going through domestic violence. The calls are being made every 29 seconds.
29
so
seconds.
when you're out, right? So when you're out at work and you're in a company, whether virtual or non-virtual, just do the math. Because 1 out of 4 women, 1 out of 7 men are going through domestic violence. And that equates to the 29 seconds. Last year, over 85,000 people, and that number's probably higher, didn't make it. That is an international number. That's a real number.
Didn't make it?
Did not make it. We had
85,000 people
85,000.
died.
85,000. Next time you talk, if we want to do a follow-up, definitely statistics. I'll bring with the updates because I have asked, okay, now we're in for a good quarter, first quarter updates on stuff. What was the count? What are the numbers? The statistically, 1 out of 4 women, 1 out of 7 men, every 29 seconds, somebody's going through domestic violence. And that equated to 85,000 plus
Oh my gosh.
that didn't make it. And to say what happens if awareness was up, if we got people informed, not just the police officers, not just people in the government, teachers, youth, communities, churches, outreaches, had that message wave somewhere part of the day. Have you purple up today? So that campaign, that's another campaign. Have you purple up today? Well, here's why. We want to break the silence on domestic violence. And it feels good knowing that you're going through something, you have support, you have options. And with us, we see that what we're doing is working. But what's awesome is about that it's working, and it's not about what we have or about funding. It's about doing. It's the action of awareness, and put that on repeat. That's been working for us, and that part alone has outreach to over 250 people now. And if we did that with no funding, not about funding, if we did that with support and fully funded support, what would that look like? And breaking the silence on domestic violence being fully funded. So that is our challenge. And the heart of the why is that, like I said, domestic violence is not what it looks like. It's about what it is like. And I lived it. And I'm happy to say I went through something that needs more of a voice, more of awareness, and getting things where people don't fall through the cracks. And we hear the stories. When you see people that get on the news, they got on the news. I haven't been on the news, but I have been with some people that have been on the news behind the scenes.
Right.
And the powerful thing about that, they'll turn to you and say, it doesn't make no difference if we're on the news, not on the news, a victim is a victim. And the important part of that is empowerment of hope, support, and action that makes a difference in someone's life. So we're not seeing the news with this person got stabbed 100 times or burned, completely burned from head to toe, or gunshot to the head, or multiple times. We hear about it. Well, we would like to be the difference that's we're going to be about it before crisis. We're going to be about it at prevention. And that's simply increasing awareness. So that's why we purpled up for domestic violence awareness. Because October needs to be pink and purple. It's pink for breast cancer and purple for domestic violence awareness. Both of those are in an epidemic state on the statistically and the count in what's going on in community, the more we're aware. And as you can see with breast cancer, it's fully funded and supported. Domestic violence, it is not. We have so much more to do to get those level of awareness up and getting support up and getting the word out that you do have help. You're not alone in this. So don't be silent and don't let that person be silent. Because what that means, we're still dealing with trying to break the silence on domestic violence. And that's our goal. With increasing awareness, we are doing that and providing solutions. And those solutions, that might be a B2B products to services that support the why and the cause. And if you wonder how we're doing it, we have an awesome community partner that stood up with us, the creative designer, content developer, web developer that has what you see visible from the shirt to the background, everything that's visible has got a touch of a business get involved to make us more visible. And it's been very impactful to see the difference where people are starting to ask the question, where's all the purple? Why you purple it up? What does that mean? Well, just know that means that is representing a huge awareness impact for domestic violence and increasing support. And there's various ways to get involved. Taking on the challenge, step one. Putting something to action, step two. Step three, put that on repeat and keep purpling it up for domestic violence awareness.
Wow. So Veronica, you said that this is a nonprofit, and you said that you are volunteers,
Mm-hmm.
and you said every 29 seconds there's a domestic violence situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so 1 in 4 women, 1 in 7 men,
Mm-hmm.
and 85,000 people died last year
Mm-hmm.
from
Yes.
domestic violence.
Yes.
Whew.
And the
Tell
majority
me,
of that, the majority of that were women, but it's not the only gender.
right. Tell me what it costs, because you're in your car right now. I always see you in your car because you are at the ready whenever you're needed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you would pick someone up and drop them to an undisclosed place where they are safe, but there's there's money involved. Like it costs money. How much does it cost per person I mean, on average?
5,000 for a victim to get fully supported in the instant of going on to transition to getting safe, getting out the situation. For a victim of domestic violence, that is off the bat $5,000.
Oh, that's just like starting. Like
Right.
that's the
To
lower
get
end
the lower end, the
baseline.
initial, we try to keep it, well, we do what we can to get costs down, but typically I always think in the back of my mind, right off the top, okay, that's 2,500. Who's got this? Who's got that? But realistically, that number's
About
higher,
5,000. Yeah.
5,000. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because especially if it's dealing with the housing or getting that person safe and sustained, and sometimes because the way it works, we look at identifying the best option for that victim to feel comfortable and uh, get them secure. So that might be not in their town at first. And there's a
Right.
commute because there's a process of injunction that you have to adhere to. And I live that. So um, I look at what I went through, and by the grace of God, it happened. And for me, realizing that what I didn't have to get to the next county, and that's when gas is going up, I know this. The $10 that I got in my tank saved my life. And that felt like I got $1,000. I got $1,000,000 when I realized the circumstances that I was in imminent danger and need to get safe. There's no price you can put on it, but
Right.
certainly that was another act of kindness if someone said that's all they had. And
It was
they
enough to get you
happened
out.
to pay. It was enough to get me out. So um, I want people to realize that it was the action of doing something. Fill in the blank. Nothing's not the blank. Nothing's not the answer.
Wow.
Because something can
And
be
I
done in any situation. Over and over again, we do it. That's
yeah.
how we are doing it. If you're wondering how we're voluntarily doing this and we're not funded, we're not for profit, we're working on our 501c3. Someone wants to come up and say, hey, I can help you get that. I can, whatever it takes to do that. That's not my expertise. But I'm
Right.
looking at ways what I can do to close that gap. That's been, I think, the biggest thing that gets me today. And this is why we also, because of my story, my why, we stay with victims. We said 10 years, but people have come back and said it's a lifetime because I never forget what you did for me. And I'm doing it for myself over and over again when I didn't know I needed to. And
Yes.
that's why I say a lifetime. And I can't help that it's in my last name that I proclaimed. That's all I thought I could do. And that was not all I could do. But at the time, it was because I wasn't getting the help. I wasn't getting the funds that needed to persecute my ex-husband and hold him accountable for the things he broke the law and over multiple times. And I didn't have a lawyer to fight with me. I didn't think I needed to actually, but actually in this thing, you need somebody advocating for you. Not everything you can do for yourself. So, take the help that someone's reaching out to you, a loved one, a family friend, a business, a person at the grocery store, anyone that says, I don't know what, but hey, we're going to purple it up. That's the message. And with the support and the funds, that's how it's been coming. People don't know. We don't know what we're actually dealing with until we're going through it. But being ready and willing, and be willing to figure it out. That's all we're asking. And it's not so. You can fear something when you don't know. You fear something you don't know, but when you know and know how it works, and you're exposed and you're desensitized, you're not fearing it. Most people stay because they know what that is. They don't know what the other side of getting free, getting out of bondage. That's why it's feared and why people don't leave. So I hope I'm bringing clarity, and with the bottom of my heart, thankful, grateful that I can say I lived it, and knowing some answers about some things and the courage to keep figuring out, because financially, that's still a thing. If I get fully funded, I would have fully funded what I'm doing now. I know I would have had more than enough to fund several other things that need to be funded, especially housing. And I'm on a mission to see that through, to put that stamp on the financial abuse doesn't have that power in this space. But it's a relative thing that happens. That power and control is attached to finances.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Veronica, you're based in Florida, but is Purple It Up, are you operating elsewhere?
It's operating from Tampa Bay, Florida, Tampa Bay area, but it's a global action advocacy networking that's going on right from Tampa, Florida.
Okay. So someone could call you from anywhere and get support.
Mm-hmm. And our number is also taxable. So.
Okay. And I'll have that in the show notes. But what is that number?
The number is 813-922-LIFE. That's 813-922-5433.
I love that.
And they can go to purpleup.org.
Is it Purple Up or purpleitup.org?
Purpleitup.org.
Okay. I love that. I mean, I can, it's a really heavy subject, but I think that what you're trying to do is break that stigma and just have, like you said, to break the silence on domestic violence. I love that. It's so important to do that, because like you were saying before, it's the fear, it's the shame that stops people from leaving and doing what they know that they need to do. And so you had said in the very beginning that you're volunteers and you're not funded, but you bring help and you bring hope, which is it just seems like it's so powerful to not just like, here's some money, here's a place to stay, but you're supporting, and you want them to have joy,
right?
Which is way over the top. And so it's got to be so amazing to have that feeling of support.
Yes, because I want each one to know what victory feels like. We wake up every day, a new day, as a gift. It is called the present for a reason. You're not what you're going through.
Wow.
You're learning who you truly are. And most likely, if you're going through domestic violence, there's more of a purpose there. There's more of a overcoming victory that's going to make a difference in other people's lives, especially yours. You're not left out of that. So don't leave yourself out of that heroic impact that you're carrying
Yeah.
for someone, until that someone knows that they got it on their own 2 feet and get sustained where they're self-sufficient and they're healthier
Wow.
and victorious.
Victorious. I can imagine that, because as you've been through this whole situation before, I can imagine you personally saying, "Not on my watch is this going to happen again." Like, not if I have a say, right?
Right. It's not going to pass my plate because I know what that feels like. And I thought I was okay. I could do it on my own 2 feet, my own words. When you're at a point, somebody needs to speak for you, just like when you go to the court, you're supposed to have a lawyer. And that's really a legal thing, right?
Right.
That was not such a legal thing in my case. I didn't have anybody that I was informed. I can't help you. I wish I could. And they had to look the other way and allow things to happen to me. So, but when you're going through something like this, you need an advocate. And if you don't know why, you need somebody speaking for you. So that voice, they embrace your voice to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, mm, that's what I really saw something in that. That's what that was. So I wouldn't be heard. It's not like people couldn't hear me, but I was slated, blacklisted, not to be heard, not to have a legal right to have my voice heard. And that's the worst thing about domestic violence, besides the abusive physical part, the other non physical parts, not being heard. And I think people standing with me now, they're making sure I'm heard and I'm helping others get heard. So, um, how impactful is that, to increase awareness and advocating back now and cutting through some things by breaking the silence and providing solutions? That's Purple It Up for domestic violence awareness. We
Wow.
are breaking the silence and providing solutions. And the neat thing, that includes services, business services, business development services, and business solutions that's needed. There's a way to set the challenge and be a part anywhere you feel comfortable. And if you really want to go, I met some people that want to go 100, meaning be on the task force to help us call to action for whatever we need. Far as if we need to go pick up people, I don't have a question in my mind. Never have to worry about the very thing that kept me um, vulnerable and not have enough gas. Somebody did that with $10 and that saved my life. And happy to know, hey, there's people out here that are behind the scenes willing to see that one and the next one and the next one win and be the victory and advocate back with us to break the silence on domestic violence.
Oh my goodness. So my next question, and thank you so much for all that you're doing. My goodness. The more I think about it, you are just, I'm sure you don't feel like it, but you're a hero. Like, you're a hero for all these people because you're standing up for them, and you're giving them the opportunity that everyone should have.
Mhm.
What
Thank you.
what can we do to support Purple It Up?
Well, um, increasing awareness. I stand by increasing awareness is everything, and breaking on the sad truth about the silence. There needs to be more. So awareness is everything, and prevention is the key to break the silence on domestic violence. Help us get there. Help us get fully funded. Support. Every time we're dealing with a victim, there's that number, and I'm happy to say things have been met. And sometimes it's not an easy thing when you don't have a home to place someone because everything's full and we need to rely on a hotel whatever. So there's different things that anyone can do. Get involved. Take on the challenge. Let us know that you're out there. You want to step up and support. And let's identify what that is. Some may know, hey, I got 10,000. I got a house over here. I can take care of some food, or I got clothes that I need to purge, or a pantry, food in the pantry, the pantry drive, the basket of care for toiletries. Like, there's something sweet that we do, and people know we're coming because we do a basket of care every month of just bath and body, good smelling, real stuff. Because you got to know in the shelter, you're getting the trial size travel things, and it's better than nothing. But it's something about when a man or woman gets something, they can know they smell good and feeling they look good. It changes that mindset out of being a victim to victor, and just by the senses. So our basket of care project, where everybody can get involved, donating Bath and Body Work products. We say Bath and Body because it's everywhere, like Victoria's Secret. But any good smelling stuff, good, we try to not do the trial sizes because a lot of people are doing that, which we welcome any type of toiletries. But we do specific things so they know when we're coming and sending stuff into the shelters anywhere in the world now. We have that, people know it's a Purple Up thing because we're specifically asking to increase awareness in that. So when a victim gets that, they'll know that we purple it up. They'll know that this is the banner of love and being shared with them, no matter where they are. And it's pretty impactful when they get on the other side and they say, hey, I want to send stuff. I want Purple Up to send this for me to the shelter. Because not everybody can go to it, it's confidentially organized, and the confidentiality, we have to keep that. So we create ways where people can do it through our network. And yes, there's other networks that we're already connected. So when you connect with us, you're connecting with the whole network, because we have to rely on that to get the next one wherever they need to be and be safe and go through the process of healing and recovering. And counseling is also another thing. Counseling for the cause. We ask our legal assistant for the cause, attorney for cause. That's how we do. We touch everything Purple Up for a cause. So in every ram, we have washed it, baked it, cooked it, supplied it, challenged it. We came up with every little thing that is needed. Let's do it for the cause. That's how we go. 1, 2, 3, hike, and we don't drop the ball. We go and find out what we can. We have people looking, such as yourself, Amy. What can we do to help? So join the challenge and support the cause. And right now, if we looked at the estimate over what we need to raise off the back easily, when it's with housing, that's we want to do 50 homes to identify, or 50 other off-site locations in the community that we can resourcefully use. So if I take a figure without the housing, we're out the back, we would need $100K to raise, to work with, to get things, structured and supported. And then it's $500K because we're dealing with housing. And we're dealing with keeping up housing and what that looks like, having a center, a community resource center. And the back door to that will definitely have some accommodations to get those immediate onto the next, have people come through to get cleaned up or whatever it needs to be. So I'm believing for it, and I'm asking, and I'm learning to be better about asking. So thank you for helping me ask, Amy. That's one key thing that Chris and Katie Comitzos, Trevor, Bree, and Amy now, and others have stepped up and make sure that I'm increasing awareness out there, that I'm able to exercise my own little, I don't know, character defect, I don't know, or a handicap, is that how to ask when I'm used to providing and directing. And but when it's a victim, I just turn on this mama hat on, it just comes out. I'm not
Right.
gonna let mine go through. I will ask, and it's still a thing in processing, doing better with asking and owning up to that. Yeah, that's a vulnerability because
Hmm.
if I had what I should have or should have had when I survived,
You know what they need.
yeah. So I learned even more dealing with the layers
Mm.
and helping people dealing with that onion effect
Yeah.
and getting to the victory
So
of
people
peace.
could, right. So people could go to your website, purpleitup.org, and they
Mm-hmm.
can donate money,
Mm-hmm.
or they could donate time, help,
Mm-hmm.
housing, food,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
bath and body goods.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anything? Buy shirts. Buy
Yeah,
these
we have
super comfy, sweet shirts.
yeah,
Um,
we have Purple Up Gear. We have a merch, My Cause, and that's something that's coming to any business that want to have an online store. We provide a way where you can get swag and products or services all for the cost, and that helps support. Like you have a business and you need some business solutions such as rebranding or logo or website development, graphic designer, social media management, um, print to digital. You got an event going on, you need to get trade show ready. We provide all that, and that's what's been supporting also. That's my contractual work. It 100% will support the why.
wow.
And that's working in the background.
That's really cool that you have that support.
Hmm. Yeah, it's been very impactful and very well uh, strategized in a way where everybody can get involved and get behind us and push us even the more to purple up all the more. So October is not only looking different, but throughout the month, people start seeing more purple and realizing the community standing with us. And just like when people mask, everybody participated in masking at some point in time. And we would like to everybody to do that with Purple Up. Participate, be the action,
Hmm.
be the hero, be victorious, be the voice of that one that needs to know that they're not alone.
Wow, that's amazing. Whew. So you gave us your phone number, Veronica, and you gave us your website. Is there any place else that people could find you to follow? I know you're on Instagram, but you don't really do a lot on Instagram. Is that right?
I need to do more.
But you're
Yes,
busy.
anybody that wants to take the hat of social media marketing, do it for the cause.
Oh, so there's another thing that we could do to support you if somebody
Yes,
wants to take
yes,
that on.
yes. Take on, yes. I'm happy to say, yeah, on the business end, doing it for all other businesses. And that's one more area that
Okay.
definitely needs to be supported, the
Okay.
social media management. But yes, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We already set up the Snapchat. We already set up the TikTok. Now that's funny. And YouTube. Um, we've got WhatsApp, which I need to know what's that app. I mean, what is how to work all? I know how to work. I know how to do social media management or as creating status posts and all that, but I feel that something about my giftings. It's not selfish or self-serving. Maybe that's another talk to have on, when you survive domestic violence or when you meet Veronica, meet me. I don't feel nothing that I do for others is definitely not self-centered. It's definitely not selfish.
Oh,
And
absolutely not.
someone told me, saying, Veronica, you got the funniest things you're challenged to overcome. And that's you're humble, too humble, You don't consider what you do, and you can learn. You can be selfish. We don't consider that as an insult or prideful or anything. It's a healthy balance. And I know this journey is definitely about balancing my life out in a healthy way. And then I hope I'm encouraging someone. Don't sweat it. You are who you are, and you're created uniquely because you're empowering something in the midst of that authentically. And that
Wow.
is sustainable.
Oh.
So how about
S- right? So you had said earlier that your idea of sustainability is for someone to be able to take care of themselves, and that's really important, obviously.
you?
But it's so important. It's such a powerful feeling to go from not knowing the next step to being able to take care of yourself. That's got to be not just it just like I can't even put it into words like how important that must be for someone who's been in your shoes.
Mm, mm. And still today, I guess that's my joy and fight because I wake up, I'm alive, and I'm smiling. Because you know what? The silly thing, that's what you wanted to get. What you trying to get, you're gonna have to definitely get it for yourself. Because you can't have what God blessed me with. What's mine is mine, and more blessings are coming. And I'm glad there's nothing I'm trying to do about dimming this joy, this light. And whatever you see in me, I want to activate that in others so they have the victory through the worst times. And the truth is, it may not be domestic violence after all. It may be, a good part of dealing and going through domestic violence is going to test your mental health. So it's only revealing how strong you are and things to sharpen. And that's all we have everyday life. That's all we have this side of
Hmm.
heaven to embrace and to learn and to get stronger. Becoming the best you can be and be happy with that. If you don't think it's not all about the fame and glory, been all around that environment. The thing is being truly happy and knowing truly what that feels like. If you're out in the woods and you don't have nothing over your head, you're sitting by a tree, well, not by the tree if it's raining or lightning, but if you don't have nothing, you're going to know that you have joy, that you're alive, and that you ultimately get that you love you and that you're happy with you. You're empowered by the you that you are. You are happy that you can feel what it's like taking a breath, inhale, exhale, walking, able to eat, see, because some people woke up and they couldn't do something, one of those things. So realizing the empowerment of how victorious you are, you know, uh, we're here for the community. And we hope at the end of it, if it's something that we need to deal with domestic violence, but this purple is about the royal, the blessing of the honor of how loved you are. And getting people to know that and go through that and see how they have more to be and become and love themselves better. That's the true focus around this mission, this movement to purple up and break the silence on domestic violence and advocating and continuing to live life abundantly. We have that ability to be righteous. So I'm asking people to come on, let's go. What you got? What do we need? What do we do? Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Purple it up. Take on the challenge.
Take on the challenge. So many great phrases with this project. Break the silence on domestic violence. I love that you offer help and you offer hope. I love Purple It Up for domestic violence awareness. Like there's so many great phrases that switching from being the victim to the victor.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And living life abundantly, and thank you for helping me realize something. Loving yourself better and being better about loving others, because out of the three things, that we're called to, the greatest thing is the charity, the love. And you know what? That goes eternal. Everything else, it's because of the love, it goes eternal.
Yeah. Okay, so folks, go to purpleitup.org, buy some cool shirts, donate some money if you can. Just offer your support in any way that you can. And if you have solutions, please share. Veronica wants to know.
Yes. How you gonna purple it up?
Are you purpling it up? Awesome. Well, Veronica, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have a great night because you worked hard today.
Yes. Something tells me I'm gonna sleep well, but I'm gonna be laughing and giggling.
Good.
Because somebody purpled it up. and somebody thought more, just thought in any way possible, whatever it needs to be. Yeah. It is. And increasing awareness is the key. Remember, awareness is everything. And prevention is the key to breaking the silence on domestic violence. And thank you for taking on the challenge. But did we officially, Amy, you officially took on the challenge in a whole nother way with let's officially, let me ask you, Amy, so are you taking on the Purple Up challenge to don't drop the ball?
I will take on the challenge to not drop the ball. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, repeat after me. I purpled it up.
I purpled it up.
For domestic violence awareness.
For domestic violence awareness.
And I'm not going to drop the ball.
And I'm not going to drop the ball.
Wonderful. Now that you said that, that's the pledge challenge. And do you accept?
I do.
Now you can say it again. Look into the camera and go ahead and say it again. And I'm going to feed it back to you, but you hold your hands up like you caught the ball, because we're going to do something on the back end to have you virtually receive the ball. Yeah, hold your hands out like that. So you can, yeah. Okay, so when I say hike, do that, and then you say your name, your podcast or business, and that you purple up. I purple up for domestic violence awareness. I'm not going to drop the ball. And that's how simple it is to take on the challenge.
Okay.
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 Hike.
I'm Amy Fagan of Amy's Garden Jam and Grounded in Maine. I am purpling it up for domestic violence awareness, and I am not going to drop the ball.
Awesome. Yes. And high five the camera. Just reach ahead. Awesome. And thank you for creating another moment of awareness and making the impact even brighter.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Right.
So much fun.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment and thank my guest again for speaking with me and sharing such great information. I also need to thank Buzzsprout for hosting this podcast, for Jane Bolduck and her amazing music genius, for Becca Coffron and her beautiful artwork. And I'd like to thank you for listening. Please check out the show notes. I'm going to have links posted in there if you would like to follow this guest and learn more about them. Thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, love and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder,